Hi, people. Mike Romy here with 5 for Live Games. Bring you a top 16 deck profile from YCS Niagara Falls. What's your name? What you play?
My name is Ben Oon, and I played Lunalight Orcust this weekend.
Nice. All right. How'd you like it?
I thought it ran pretty well. Like, I had a lot of practice with this deck. I've been a fan of the Lunalight archetype ever since its inception, but it wasn't really playable until the new support came out, and with the banning of Rusty, I feel like this was the natural direction to take the deck. Just a couple quick shoutouts before we get into it.
Go ahead.
So I have my own YouTube channel actually. It's Sir Emanon. Emanon is just no name backwards. I post a lot of Lunalight content, so if you guys want to go check that out, feel free to do so. Other shoutouts to my friend Anthony and his girlfriend Nora, who drove me up here. Shoutouts to my friend John, who's sitting over there. Shout out to Noah, Mike, and then the guys back home, Zaid, gosh, I'm blanking on names so badly right now. Zaid, Jacob, Mike, I'm missing like everybody, Marvin, Gideon, everybody. Shout outs to my Philly crew, Jimmy, Will, Brandon, special thanks to Brandon for giving me a lot of motivational support, and Johnny as well, and just everybody who helped me test.
Okay.
Alright, so let's get into it. The monster count is 25. So played 3 copies of Cloud Chick. This is pretty standard. It's your graveyard setup. It's not once per turn. It can't be Ash. It's your one primary step tool, the other one being Lunalight Tiger. This card had insane potential since it was released, but it didn't really have like an enabler until Chick came out. But it's the pendulum scale, non once per turn reborn. And of course, when you bring this back, even though its effects are negated, it can still send stuff because costs are OP. It's also relevant because when it gets destroyed by a card effect, you can just reborn anyway, so it really helps you set up. Sometimes you can make like Tornado Dragon and pop your own Tiger. That comes up sometimes. People will like use Ogre on this, which is okay because then you can just really do the Orcust combo. So these two in tandem like force a lot of cards, and then you just push with the Orcusts, and that's basically the main win condition of the deck. The primary target to send off of Cloud Chick is Yellow Marten. This is a basically themed Zephyros. If it's in graveyard or your hand, you can target a Lunalight monster or Lunalight card in the field, bounce it to your hand, and then special in defense, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. So really good for just bouncing back Tiger, getting more extenders. And if they ever leave Tiger on the field for more than one turn, you'll be able to get one summon back with the Chick, and then Martin will be able to bounce this, and then this summons another thing. So it's 3 monsters every single turn to really help you push in tandem with the Orcusts. It has another effect as well, where if it's sent to the graveyard via card effect, you can search a Lunalight spell or trap. So when you pitch it off dangers, or when you use the Nyarla, which I'll show you guys later, basically it allows you to just search a free extender that you can use to get more cards on board. So very useful. Definitely need to run 2 of it. I play the 1 Emerald Bird. This is like semi-standard. I see it in like 50-50 of lists, but I really like it because there are actually some combos where you can send this initially instead of this off the Kaleido Chick, which allows you to go into Nyarla and then use its effect, which allows you to special something else back, usually this, which then sends Martin. So it makes it so that these two allow you to go for your Orcust combo without having to commit Martin, which is really useful. Its other effect to pitch and draw 1 on summon doesn't really come up, but it's there if you need it. And then the one tech that not many people run, but I decided to play this weekend is Lunalight White Rabbit. So shoutouts to someone in my Discord server. I actually have one a Discord server. Her name is Mana. She showed me the idea of this, and basically what you can do with it is you can send it to graveyard via Kaleido Chick on your first turn, and then you can bring it back off Tiger on subsequent turns, then bounce the Rabbit off the Martin, and then normal summon the White Rabbit. And when it's normal summoned, you can get another Reborn. But beyond that, you can target a back row up to the number of Lunalight cards you control besides itself, and just bounce them to the hand. So really good in the striker matchup, super useful for just simplifying the game and going for bigger pushes. So that's it for the Lunalights. It's 10 Lunalight monsters. Let's get these out of the way here. Alright, for the supplementary cards, I play Armageddonite. It's basically another copy of Kaleido Chick. Weakness being it can get Ash, but also has a strength in being able to send Orcust cards or Martin to trigger its effect, so very strong there. I played the Zephyros, which I feel is very staple. A lot of your combos start off by making Raid Raptor Force Tricks as well, if your opponent doesn't really have hand traps, or if you feel like you can play through it with like Call by the Grave or whatever. But yeah, this card, very useful for just bouncing your Tiger. And then I, of course, played a Danger Core. So I played double Nessie, double Jackalope, double Snake, and double Moth. So I used to play this card at 3, but I found that it's like people say its graveyard effect is really good, and it can help, but it's very dependent on how strong your hand is. So like I didn't want to like risk drawing multiples and then hitting it and just not be able to get value out of it. Whereas it's still useful to have because Jackal can summon it, and it's a level 4 to go into Azathoth with, which definitely comes up. These are all different types, so it helps you make Curious easier, which is a very, very solid way to get into your Orcust if your Mermaid gets hand trapped, which I think is like the key strength of this deck. Like a lot of decks, pass when Mermaid gets impermanence or Ash or whatever, but here you can keep extending with like your Lunalight cards and these cards and just make Curious and send like whatever you need. So very, very useful stuff. They're dangerous, or don't need to explain that too much. And then the Orcust, I played double Nightmare, 1 Harp, 1 Symbol, and the World Wand. I wish I played 2 Harp. There were times where I drew this and like it kind of interfered with my combo, but other than that, like when you like use your Mermaid, you want to like pitch something that disincentivizes your opponent to like use their hand traps on it. So like if you pitch a copy of this, then like they're less inclined to ash it or whatever. But yeah, this engine overall is pretty standard. I guess the World Wand isn't like maybe as popular, but I like it for the OTKs as well as the ability to just extend if like you get called by the grave or something and like you need to get resources back. So it's very good in the grind game, very good for pushing, getting extra bodies on board. So that's it for the monster count. The spells, there's 17. So it's triple Tenki, it's the Rhoda, nothing to say there. Triple Perfume, the non-once per turn Reborn, that's also a Rhoda engraved, so that's pretty good. Not searchable, but if it was, that'd be OP. Triple Goods to send Perfume or the Lunalight Trap. And I actually have another target for it, which I'll show you guys later. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. So some people actually don't play this card, but I think it's very, very vital because there are ways that your opponent can stop you en route to Azathoth. So like if you, for example, send Foolish Goods for Perfume, Perfume is susceptible to Ash, right? But like this can stop it so that you can get your play started. I had people Ash my Tenki actually, which sometimes can weirdly enough end your turn. But Call by the Grave is just very, very useful to be like a good safety net. It's also just a nice defensive card to have in a wide variety of matchups. And Orcust is everywhere, so you just kind of need it. So I played also 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. I feel like I needed some generic cards just to like hedge against the fact that Mystic Mind's in the format. This deck really has a hard time against it. It doesn't have like any in-engine outs to it. So I figured that this gets around Dingirsu. It's good for banishing Salamangreat traps. It's good for just banishing multi-roll. Very, very wide applications, and it got sided out a fair bit, but I think it was overall nice to just have as extra, I guess, options to have. And then the other target I was talking about was Galaxy Cyclone. So this is like the other optimistic mine, but you can actually draw goods to really just send it. So people aren't typically going to like use their Solemn Judgment on the goods. So like you can catch them off guard with this. It only came up once, but I think it was nice to have just because like this deck does lose super hard to Mystic Mine. So yeah, that's it for. There's actually 2 more spells. I'll just show you guys real quick. Nothing too surprising in this department. Alright, so the last 2 spells are Foolish, which is just, more graveyard setup, sends everything. Yep. And then Babel, which, pretty standard. And then the traps are the Lunalight Trap, the Serenade Dance. Its on-field effect is totally irrelevant, but what it does is that in graveyard, you can banish it, send a card from your hand to grave effect, and then special Lunalight from your deck. So this can trigger like Emerald Bird or theoretically Martin if I played more of these, but yeah, it can trigger those effects. And it's also nice because like it's stronger against Ash since it's not a cost to discard. And it's typically what you search off. It's the only target you can search off Martin, but it's very, very useful in the Yarla line of play, which comes up a lot. We played Crescendo, obviously, and I played the Eradicator. So I was going to side this alongside Nightmare Griffin because I felt like in every matchup besides Striker and maybe something like True Draco, like I felt more comfortable just going with the normal Orcust board and like a couple of rank 4s. But I wanted to side deck other cards, so I just moved this to the main deck and cut Nightmare Cerberus for a Griffin, which allowed me to have the option like to be flexible. Yep. And also when you hard draw, it's kind of just nice. So yeah, that's it for the traps. 45 card in main deck.
Nice.
Alright, so for the extra, we have Mermaid and Phoenix. Again, I want to play Cerberus, just because like Phoenix is nice in the grind game, but the space is extremely tight in this deck.
Oh, yeah.
2 Galatea. I kind of missed Long Gearsu just for going second, but again, there's just no room. Like you need these to do the basic combo. So I played Curious, which is good not only in tandem with Griffin, which obviously can set your Eradicator and stuff, but again, like I mentioned earlier, it's good to just be a safety net to send Orcusts or just whatever you need at the time. Very, very useful card. I played Appaloosa, but with the Goddess. This is a card that you can sometimes end on if you have one extender as well as like the Chick Tiger route. So you can end on this rank 4 and like the Orcust play, which is pretty cool. I played Borosaur Dragon. This is like how you kill people. I wanted to run the Lunalight Fusions. They're very, very strong. Like the Loot answer is really, really good, but there's just literally no space. It's 2 extra X spots, and I can't afford that. So that's it for the Link monsters. And then the Xyz monsters are the Tangirsu, obviously. 4 Strix to search Zephyros, it's like part of a lot of combos. It can even come up sometimes later in the game if you like don't make it turn 1. But so I played Nyarl and Azathoth. This is a hedge against Nibiru because some people are even opting to main it, but you can always get this by the 5th summon because Chick is a normal summon, then you bring back Martin, then this is the 3rd, this is the 4th. So you're always safe around Nibiru. And it's also just generically good to push. It's good for like the striker matchup, stopping Ray. It's just nice to have overall. And the Nyarl itself is actually really, really nice. It triggers dangers on summon because you can discard cards, and it also allows you to trigger your Emerald Bird and your Yellow Martin to be able to get more pluses. So very, very good stuff here. Tornado Dragon is actually removable. Really, really like it. Evo Swarm Nightmare and Dweller, these are like the typical first turn options. Sometimes you can even make both of them. Really, really good against Orcust, good against Salamangreat. This is good against like almost everything. Like these are both good against pretty much everything but Striker. But like I have other stuff for Striker, obviously. But yeah, these are just really, really solid cards. And I made every single card in my extra deck multiple times over, so I don't really know what I could cut. Like there is things that I missed, like Hood of the Firefist Tiger King and stuff, but it's just there's just no space. All right, for the side deck, I played Triple Lancia. I think that's pretty straightforward. Orcust is literally everywhere. I played 3 Ciphering, the Gamma, and the Driver. So this was a concession to Pendulum because I was really, really afraid of that deck. I tested a lot against it. And the problem is with this deck is that it just doesn't inherently have a way to go second and like deal with like massive boards. So this kind of takes care of it. But the other thing is that people will often like side in Lancia and maybe shotgun it, or if like you go say Foolish Goods to send Perfume, then they'll use it there. So like this is access to like 4, 5, and 6 copies of Call by the Grave, which is really nice. It's also good. It's like Dimension Shifter for Pure Thunder. Just a lot of application across the board. So the cards I cut the Eradicator and Griffin for inside are 2 Ogres. These kind of underperformed. I didn't really side them in very much. Maybe I could get away with just like residing the Eradicator and stuff, but there were also times I missed like Infinite Impermanence. That was the other card I was like wavering between. But I just wanted more hand traps again for like Pendulum and stuff. And then I played 3 Twin Twister and 3 Red Reboot for the backward decks, and this for Striker. Yeah, so that's it.
Alright. What were your matchups?
So round 1 and 2 I played Striker. Round 3 I played Cyber Orcust. 4 and 5 were both Salamangreat. Those are both my losses. I just got hand chopped to death. And like one time I made